Hello, this is Mike Hill and
Casey Harding.
Right here live. Well, not so much live, but we're here in Midlothian, Texas, alive, right here in the heart of Ellis County. This is Hill Financial Group, but this is our podcast, Money Matters. And we do this podcast because we try to get a little bit more in detail than just doing a Google search, or a Chat GPT search, or whatever it may be. We try to give you real life information, things that we've actually learned being financial advisors with over 40 something years experience between the two of us, and also with clients and stories that they've shared and things that they wish they would have done different. So we hope this helps, because today, this is a big topic. I get this literally once or twice a month. Mike, should I downsize? Why your big home equity may not be the retirement free fall windfall that you think it is. So as I put on my glasses, why downsizing seems like a retirement solution? Well, because many people assume that selling a larger house, I got all this 250, 300, 400, 500,000 in excess cash in the equity of my home I'm selling. It's tax-free if you're not over the capital gains number. The idea is less house, which means less air conditioning, which means less property taxes, which, it's all appealing, more freedom. It can be beneficial, but I'm going to let Casey be the downer and talk about why it's not maybe the financial windfall that you think it is. We're going to go over pros and cons, but of course, in my Q fashion, I want Casey to cover the cons first.
We are in Midlothian, Texas, Ellis County. What is it? The ninth or fastest growing community in the nation, or with 9, I think, county, something like that. I might be off there, but the reality is yes, your home has probably increased in value significantly over the last 10 years. But those intro houses are also not cheap. The new starter home in Midlothian's like 400, 450. So you may be selling at a high, but you're going to be buying at a high too. So it just depends maybe on how much equity you do have. Can you either completely pay off the house that you're downsizing to, or you're going to have a small mortgage, and just kind of weighing those costs. But those are those, and also like right now, if you're trying to do it now, inventory, how many things are actually on the market, how many things are listed. Like we do have a lot of building, going on, new developments here in Midlothian that are coming in. There are some that specifically have, kind of the 55 plus, kind of areas in them with those 0 lot lines. And I sound like a realtor at this point, but there's certainly some benefits there, but it's just kind of like, are you really getting what you're paying for?
Well, and I think something to consider, and I absolutely think in a lot of cases, downsizing definitely is the better decision. So I don't want to sound like negative Ninny here, because I do think sometimes you have a 5-bedroom home.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in your 60s, 70s.
I'm going to keep up with that.
Why do you need stairs? Come on. You need stairs and all the things. But think about this. You have an $800,000 house.
Mm-hmm.
You're at a 3% mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. And you move into a $400,000 house that has a 6% mortgage. Not your property taxes, not your insurance, but your mortgage payment is probably going to be close to the same based on that. So you have half the value of a house that you're moving into. If you bought a house in 2020, 21, 22, you're probably at a 3.5% rate. And now you're moving into something that's almost double the rate. Yeah. So that definitely factors into it. There's things that you have to factor in. And we have a lot of friends that are realtors, so if you watch this, don't get upset. When you sell a house, you have realtor fees, okay, on the sale of your house. Guess what you have if you're buying a house, unless you're building it yourself, and even then, you're going to have fees up front. You have realtor fees when you buy a house, and then you have closing costs on the house that you're closing, and closing costs on the house that you're buying.
It's all about the net.
Yeah, and then you have moving expenses. Are you moving and living in a townhome for a couple of weeks, whatever it may, and then you got repairs and upgrades. Man, we're about to sell a house. I'm starting to get depressed now. So, but furnishing. This is the big one, and I can't speak for Casey. Is it? But we're not taking any of this furniture with us. Did we hit the lottery? Or did I go on Wheel of Fortune and get the living room furniture package that I'm not aware of? So it's furnishing the new home and all the things can add up quickly. So. What are some other ongoing costs that just don't go?
Yeah.
Furniture, at least you buy, you own.
For sure. So let's say you're in the great situation where you can sell your house and pay cash for the new one, and you have no mortgage. Well, you still have property taxes, as much as our legislators are trying to get rid of it right now. You have HOA fees, condo fees, all those are expenses that are going to always be there. Most likely, you've got your insurance. That's an ongoing expense that's not going to go away, and continues to seem to somehow keep going up. So not all the things that you downsize to eliminate your costs. I mean, but you may lower your costs on utilities and cutting the grass, and things like that. But there are those expenses that don't go away.
So, and one of the things I want to talk about is liquidity versus net worth.
Yeah.
Your home equity isn't liquid till you sell, but sometimes what you can do is do a home equity loan. You can pull out equity out of your home in the form of a loan. It's not taxable. Yes, you're paying interest on it, but maybe that's what you'd use to buy a smaller house, or maybe that's what you buy to renovate your house. And even after selling, the funds need to be reinvested, or they need to be put into something pretty carefully that you think you're getting some pretty good tax efficient growth on. And relying 100%, I get this all the time, unfortunately, because we are in Midlothian and nobody expected us to have the rise in prices that we've had over the last 5 years. I get people that have 400,000 or 500,000 of equity in your home, but that's their largest asset and it's not even close. And I've had guys call me and say, Mike, should I get a home equity loan?
Yeah.
Or should we downsize so I can invest 200,000 to 300,000 in the market? You've done pretty good on the equity of your home, just based on 3, 5, 10% growth in the area. Sure. I'm not a big believer in paying interest on money that you're going to invest. I'm not a big fan of that. So that's the one downside of downsizing. One of them is that you got a lot of eggs in one basket that you're having to reallocate. You better be careful how you reallocate it. I.e., call your financial planner.
Yeah. Right.
Casey, what are some tax
considerations, or just if you're, if it's your primary residence and you do end up profiting over 500,000, that's what you can exclude from your profit, based on your primary residence. But if you are netting, above and beyond that, then yes, you will still pay capital gains. Anything above, if you're married filing jointly, you can do that 500,000. If you're single, it's 250. But anything net above that, yes, you pay capital gains taxes on. Also, but if you're relocating to another state, there state and local tax differences that you'll want to consider.
A lot of people move to Nashville, Tennessee, and they go, I didn't know they had a state income tax.
Yep. So just things like that to consider. And then it's just important to understand, like we've kind of talked about, what are your net proceeds after taxes. And so that's kind of the calculation that people forget about a lot of times. So, but what I mean, I don't know, Mike, what's next on this list that we can kind of.
I wanted to ask you this. Have you ever known anybody, or have your parents or anybody that you've known that's older ever downsized?
So,
and what was their story? Their realization?
I haven't. My parents would love to downsize, but they just can't find exactly what they're looking for at this point. So, they're kind of staying put. But
is this your family home?
Yeah.
So you say, I'm probably guessing it's. No, it's more your mom. Is your dad, or is it both?
At this point, I think my mom is like just ready to go. If we could, if they could if they could find the right spot. So it's the stuff in the house that she doesn't want to get rid of. The house she could get rid of.
It's big. I mean, in this, like I said, they're going to spend money on a storage facility and never go see it. And what's funny is. And I'm getting off the subject here, but you're so right. This happened with my grandmother. She downsized from a house, and when she went in, eventually had to go lived with my aunt for many, many years. Man, every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, it is the most awkward conversation ever. It's, hey, Michael, this mug was your grandfather's. He drank from this every day for 40 years. I want you to have this so you can enjoy it. I'm like, well, I don't want to drink. I'll break it if I drink out of it. Great, thank you. But every time there's someone that gives away sentimental, and I can go, sweet. No. Yeah, it's yeah. Family heirlooms are a big thing
For sure.
But I could tell you, I wanted to cover this. Some common misconceptions about downsizing
Yeah.
is my house will fund my retirement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Unless you have a $2 million, $1.5 million, whatever it may be, equity position, or by the way, you got to buy another house.
Yeah.
By the way,
Right.
then let's maybe just table that because 400,000 or 500,000 in equity is not going to fund your retirement. Smaller always means cheaper. A lot of these condos, townhomes have pretty high HOAs. And not only that, it doesn't always mean cheaper with insurance. It doesn't always mean cheaper with your fuel cost. I mean, your energy costs. I have a large surplus after selling. We've talked about fees. We've talked about things from the title company, et cetera, that can knock that down. And you may not get the price that you think that you're selling it for, so that's why you need a really good realtor. We know one here in our building if you're interested by the name of Better Together. But why assumptions should be replaced with planning. Before you list your house, plan best case, worst case scenario, what that looks like. I've seen this 100 times where somebody's looking for houses
Yep.
before they've even sold theirs. You have no idea how much equity you're going to pull out of that sale. Therefore, don't get, and then you go into this one. Well, I could buy it on contingency. What if it's a year? Well, you got 2 payments going. So anyway, that's misconceptions that it's a quick transaction that I can do whatever I want. No, it's a very illiquid asset for a reason.
For sure.
And so what is something, just some closing thoughts? I let Casey have the closing thoughts since I talk all the time.
No, I mean, the housing is just one piece of, everyone's, financial plan. And so there is a component there that needs to be considered. And the biggest thing I think is what people need in retirement is just a sustainable retirement income. So just building that plan, coming up with, what's that, what are those housing costs going to be when you're factoring in Social Security and, if you have a pension, how much are you pulling from your retirement? All of those are, factors there when you're trying to figure out like how much should I budget for my housing in retirement.
I would definitely keep money flexible.
Oh, for sure.
I wouldn't put it all back into another house. It's no in retirement because what Dave Ramsey would have you pay off your house in retirement, which I agree with some of that. But then on the other hand, if you got pension payments and Social Security, that's I like houses because you use leverage. But I'm not going to argue with Dave Ramsey. I won't get any likes, obviously. But you got to remember that you have to always have a place to live. And your house is an amazing asset. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be your only retirement asset. And if you take money out of it by downsizing, you should only invest some of it, not all of it, just for those same reasons that we just talked.
Absolutely. No, and anytime we are planning, I feel like one of our biggest things is we're wanting to give our clients options, and so that they have that flexibility.
Absolutely. So you come in here, you're going to be flexible. I mean, it's one way or another. It's going to be liquid or some way that we can.
Definitely.
That's our closing thought.
Yeah, no.
Downsizing. I hope we didn't depress you too much and talk you out of it, but everybody thinks it's the golden goose. We just want to make sure that it's golden goose. We just want to make sure it's not a rotten egg.
Yeah.
So this is Mike Hill
And Casey Harding
with Money Matters podcast right here at Hill Financial Group. Like, share. If you disagree with this, agree with us. We want to hear it. We want all of it. But thank you. We have a lot new subscribers every single week, and we're very blessed for that. So we can't thank you more. Again, Mike Hill and Casey Harding with Money Matters. Thank you.